You are here, walker in the weirdness. Your arrival heralds change. I am Yngvi. May my stature not surprise you. For the Thoid, it is what you bring to the tribe that matters. I bring myself, my skills, and my devotion. I am my tribe's servant. I've heard the voice, but I cannot answer its call. The members of the Thoid tribe are preparing to fall into sleep, and it is my duty to ensure their safety while they do. We sleep to dream the mother's dream. It is sacred to the Thoid. Until now, only Senya has dreamed, and before her, a long line of devoted and sensitive Thoid warriors. Through the dream, we commune with our guardian giant, the one we call Mother. Now Mother wishes for all of us to join her. She promises to protect us from the weirdness. Mother promises that the strength of the Thoid's united dreaming will repel the weirdness and encompass the entire Forlorn Swords. By embracing the dream, the Thoids will protect not only themselves, but all of the Delrida too. The Thoids have long believed the world is heading towards self-destruction, and we are now on the brink of the end times. If there is a way to prevent that, we will do everything in our power to make it so. We are not sure, but we have faith. It has to be enough. We became certain the moment you set foot in our lands. Your arrival was foretold by Mother. She said that when the walker in the weirdness arrives, it will be time to fall into the sleep. Through our dream, we will save ourselves from the end of days. You are the walker in the weirdness. You can do far more than we ever could. We have tried everything. Magic, diplomacy. Some of us even joined One Eye's rebellion. But it wasn't enough. We needed Mother to show us the way. She said that only by joining her dream in another realm can we truly affect the reality we know. The Gunvalder tribe did the same. They worshipped their giant too. We believe King Arthur entrusted us with his crown for a reason. There's always been a special bond between the Delrida and the giants, going back to the Age of Legends. Perhaps he was the only man who could speak to the giants as an equal. But how could we find out now? The king is dead, and he's not coming back. This is our last chance to make a difference. We need to trust Mother. That's not widely known, but we have our own theory. We believe Arthur bound his essence to the crown, which allowed him to communicate with the giants and gain their allegiance. However, you can't bind your essence to another being without mastering the weirdness first. That's why we believe Arthur must have uncovered the secrets of the weirdness, unlocking the mysteries of the Fordwellers long before he forged his allegiance with the giants. I We'll keep watch until everyone enters the land of the dreaming. Once they fall into sleep, I'll decide whether or not to join them. I may simply become a nameless, tribeless Delrida. That is my honest answer. It's the only one I can give. Words shape reality. You shouldn't use them unless you're certain of the reality you want to create. How do you think you can help us? Can you do more than walk the weirdness? Can you walk through dreams too? If that's the case, I won't stop you from entering. Mother will decide if you're of use to her. But don't you dare harm her, even if you can. If you do, you'll have the entire Thoid tribe against you. That much I'm sure of. As you wish, Walker in the Weirdness. I won't make any decisions about the dreaming until you return with answers. Or the will of the Mother.
It gladdens school to see you here, for it means we draw ever closer to Sonder. Behold the dreaming, our true home. Walker in the weirdness. As I greeted you in the waking world, so do I welcome you once more. The world that withers is no home to us. It is a fleeting mirage where nothing holds, nothing remains. There all crumbles, without meaning, without end. But the dreaming is eternal, and it has a purpose. The deepest of all layers, Sonder. When your arrival ended the vigil, the dreaming began. The final phase of our dreaming is Sonder. Sonder is the moment when we shall become one with Mother's dream, forever entwined. Sonder is also a place deep within the lowest layers of the dreaming. There at last we will be safe, far from the world ensnared by the weirdness. Ingvi believes you may unravel the burdens that weigh upon some of the Thoid. Without freeing them from these burdens, they cannot enter Mother's chamber, where each of us must drift into ever deeper dreaming, until at last we reach Sonder. Ingvi's burden is to guard the village of Thoid, to safeguard Mother, and to ensure that all members of the Thoid tribe journey towards Sonder. She awaits the right sign. When it comes, Only then will she choose her fate. Life, unfulfilled duties, feelings that tether the soul, keeping it from sinking into the dreaming's embrace. Each of us carries burdens. Once, we of Thoid would end our vigil and return to wakefulness, striving to cast off these burdens through life itself. But your arrival ended the vigil. It began the dreaming, and Thoid may no longer wake, not unless such his mother's will.
You, don't just stand there. Help me find Vilekin. I know that filthy swine is hiding somewhere around here. We have to find him. A filthy beast. A mongrel who tried to put his hands where they didn't belong. Oh, how I wish I had cut them off when I had the chance. But he fled. And now he's entered the vigil and I will not let him go any further. If he dares try to harm her again, I swear... Senya! I swore to protect her, but I failed. I chased Vilekin from her bedside, then from the tribe, but he still managed to worm his way into the vigil. I need to find him. As long as he's out there, Senya will never be safe, and I will never be able to join her in Sonder. Because I saw him. I tried to give chase, but he's surprisingly good at slipping away in this place. He cannot be allowed into Sonder. There is no place for the likes of him among the dreaming. His very presence would be like poison. Good. I'll wait for you here. Bring me his head so I can finally dream in peace.
Behold, Walker, this is one of Mother's earthly faces. She watches over us now in the dreaming, as she once did in the waking world. I believe Mather watches your path with great intent, as do I.
Have you found him? Have you killed him? Oh, thank Mother. Senya is finally safe, and now I can see her again. Thank you. Wait, who are you exactly? You look like an outsider, yet you entered the dreaming. Walker in the weirdness. You? Oh, thank Mother. That means the vigil will soon end, and we will all be together. And I will see Senya again. I do. I swore to watch over her in her sleep, and it has been an honor, but I miss her presence. I miss the sound of her voice. She's so still when she dreams. I wish she would smile again. Have a good sleep, I guess. Thank you, Walker in the weirdness. Now that wretch is finally gone, I surely will.
Walker in the weirdness. You're here. Finally. You have to listen to me. I need to speak with Yngvi. But ever since the dream began, I can't leave this place. She must hear this before it's too late. That's exactly the problem. Sonder is a trap. No one can go there. Especially not Yngvi. Please, I'm begging you. You have to help us. The Giant Mother, the one we believe to be Mather, wants us to become her children, to surrender ourselves to her care. But why did we ever assume she was Mather? Our Mother Goddess was a warrior. She gave us the strength to stand against adversity, to unite against those who seek to destroy the Dalriada. And what is this dream, if not turning our backs on our kin? On the other tribes who still fight? Are we to crawl under Mother's skirts while the world burns? Sonder is an escape, and now I see it clearer than ever. If we flee into Sonder instead of standing and fighting, we are no longer Dalriada. There is no honor in this. We are on the verge of losing everything. Our identity as Toid, our very souls. I don't know if it'll be enough, but you have to try. Tell Yngvi that Rune reminds her of the duty of every Dalriada. We stand and fight. We dunny run. The Giant Mother is not Mather. She's nothing but a weak, selfish wretch who would see the Tuid destroyed. I know my plea must sound desperate. If you grant my request, I'll enter Sonder. I'll be thrown into it whether I want it or no. But if that is the only way to save the tribe, then I will do it. I will sacrifice myself for them.
Walker in the weirdness, you return. Welcome. I've heard the voice, but I cannot answer its call. The members of the Thoid tribe are preparing to fall into sleep, and it is my duty to ensure their safety while they do. Ah, Runa. I suppose that means you simply must tell me whatever it is, just because it is his wish. He has told you, I hope, how much he longed to become chieftain. He tried everything to be chosen. One of those attempts nearly cost me my life. But among the Thoid, ambition is one of the gravest sins. That is why I was chosen as chieftain. I was the only one who did not seek it. Does he now? And he's only just come to this realization. Now that he's in there, and I'm stuck here. Let me guess. He wants to switch places. To take the chieftain's seat while there's still a tribe left to lead. sacrificing himself for the tribe. That is unlike Runa. It does make me wonder. You don't know Runa like I do. He would never do anything that doesn't serve his ambitions. But entering Sonder goes against his desires. And if someone like him acts against his own nature, it's worth considering why. The difference between us is that I face my challenges, while Runa flees from his at all costs. Taking him at his word would be naive, but I cannot ignore what he says. I bear a great responsibility. On the one hand, there is the myth the Thoid have followed for centuries. On the other, my own doubts, and the opinion of a man who's known to work against me. Tell me, Walker in the Weirdness, you do not share our burdens. What would you do in my place? I will. You have my word. You, Walker in the Weirdness, see things in a way the Thoid cannot. We've always placed our trust in intuition. And if mine tells me there may be truth in Runa's words, perhaps I should heed by it. Thank you for your involvement. My duty as chieftain is to hear the voices of my entire tribe, even those who are not respected, like Runa. You may leave me to my thoughts now.
Ingvi has proven herself a worthy chieftain. She heard my plea.
You are the Walker in the Weirdness. You walk where few dare. I don't feel worthy of asking for your help. I need help. Not for myself, but for those I have failed. My mate Sidara, my friend Bodil, and I went to the Giant's Barrow. We sought knowledge, a sign that we still walked toward Mother's dream. But what we found instead was ruin. Bodil, our companion, did not return. And Sidara, the White's touch took hold of her. She's no longer herself, not truly. Find Bodil. End his suffering. And Sidara, she still sleeps, but her soul cannot rest. They must be freed from this curse. Then, at last, we will have peace. We will join Mother in her sleep. Bodil's earthly vessel might still be in the White's lair. As for Sidara, she sleeps in our hut, beside me. I feel her. So close yet so distant. Please, bring back my loved ones. Free their souls. Then, maybe we can find ourselves again. join the Mother.
The throne. the room.
I felt it. The weight, it is lifted. Their souls are free, and now there is only one more task to be done. You must send me to her. Wherever Sidara may be, I will follow. And I know we will be closer to Mother then. More than I have ever been. But listen, my body still clings to this world. The flesh resists what the soul has already accepted. When the moment comes, I may fight. Not because I wish to, but because I am still bound to this place. Still outside Sonder. Do not hesitate. Strike true. And when I am gone, let the wind carry my name to Mother. Thank you for understanding. For not making this harder than it must be. Let this be the last battle I ever fight.
Ho ho ho, you're here. Munvarth knew you'd come, even before we headed to the Mother's chamber. They call me Yarnsfer, because that's my name, Yarnsfer. So that's why they call me that. Makes sense, doesn't it? To the Mother's chamber, where we'll dream forever. Munvarth says great black ships that devour the sky will take us there. But I don't know if that's true. He makes things up sometimes. Like that time he told me he'd brought me a giant's tooth. Turned out to just be a regular old walnut shell. He's my friend. My raven friend. I mean, he's a raven. Feathers, wings, a beak, all the raven things. And he's the reason I'm worried. Well, not really him, actually. It's my stupid head. Always forgetting things. Before I entered the Mother's dream, I told myself, Yarnsver, remember to let Munvarth out. And, of course, I forgot. Damned useless head, and rip it off my shoulders and toss it into the abyss if I could. Yeah, he talks to me a lot, and sometimes he says things that make me really wonder how he even knows them. When I asked him, he just said it's a raven secret. But funny thing, he only talks when it's just the two of us. If anyone else is around, he clams up like a corpse. Not a chance. The voice in my head sounds like me. Like, if I think of something, I hear it the way I say it. Like now, I can hear it just fine. Munvarth, though, he speaks differently. More like a caw, kind of. I mean, with real words, because I don't understand Raven talk. But his voice is raspier. his cage. And the cage is back at my house. But not here, on the other side. You know, in the waking world. Because we're in a dream right now, right? Sometimes I mix it up and forget where I even am. It's this stupid head of mine, I swear. If Munvar stays in that cage, he'll starve to death. I left him food, but not enough to last a lifetime. Well, I mean, it'll last a lifetime. Just a short one. You don't have to rub it in. I already feel bad enough. Not only did I leave him, but as long as I carry this worry, I can't go deeper into the dream. You will. I do it myself, but I can't go back anymore. For Toids, dreams are a one-way journey. Both Munvarth and I would be forever grateful. Here, this is the key to his cage. It works like any key. Just stick it in the lock and turn it. I hope I can travel back to the waking world. And please, make sure to apologize to Munvarth for me. Did you manage to free him from the cage? Of course, I'm not rushing you. But it's probably best to do it before my friend starves to death. Hello, it is you. Did you manage to free him from the cage? Thank you. I hope he finds a new home, or at least some other ravens to keep him company. And I can already feel my burden lifting. Now I can join Mother and Senya in their chamber.
You have come, walker in the weirdness. Jarnsfor, Rune, Alfild, Trim. You do not yet grasp the weight you have lifted from their shoulders. No matter how great or small their burden, it still bound them, kept them from journeying towards the deepest layer of the dreaming. But now they may step into Mother's chamber, and you shall be granted this privilege as well. After all, this is why you are here, is it not? Yes, that is why you will enter Mother's chamber, Walker. The choices that must be made shall be made within. No matter the outcome, you have the gratitude of all Thoid. Were it not for you, we could not have embraced the dreaming. We could not have stood before Mother's chamber. You shall see my sister Senja, and Mother, whose dreams we have shared, and in whose dreams we long to become one. Do not fear. No harm will come to you in the dreaming. I know that you are expected, Walker. Indeed, the time has come.
I have watched your journey, Walker in the Weirdness. I saw how you helped the lost Thoid children face their burdens, the weight that kept them from entering this chamber. For that, you have my gratitude. But I know you have your own purpose. Now tell me what it is. I welcomed you as my guest, so I will grant you this privilege. Ask then, Walker in the Weirdness. In your tongue, you might call me Moonrose. I was known as the Giant of Bloom and Ash. I stood beside my brothers and sisters as they entered this world. And I stood beside them when they faded into eternity, guiding them on their final journey. You humans cling so desperately to the waking world. Your dreams are fleeting. You dream, then wake, and in doing so, you destroy what you have dreamt. The Thoid follow a path to end that destruction. To stop waking. The vigil was the first step. Those brief visits prepared them for a reality beyond the waking world. Because I dreamt of our meeting, Walker in the Weirdness. I could not wait. You bring change. And in the waking world, change is the greatest force of all. The human child, Senya, the keeper of my dreams, delivered the message to the Thoid. With your arrival, the dreaming would begin, and their final burdens would be cast away. Nobody should fall asleep, weighed down by earthly concerns. They only bring fear and nightmares. And there are enough of those in the waking world. They have no place in the dreaming. Don't you already know the answer, Walker in the Weirdness? You see the world beyond my dreaming. It is a layer of reality steeped in suffering. A place where all that lives is doomed to perish. No civilization will endure. It happened to the Foredwellers. It happened to us, the Giants. And now, your own end draws near. Avalon is no longer a place that favors you. Because we share a unique, carefully cultivated bond. Long ago, the Thoid turned to me, for they saw me as a mother. They sought my guidance, and for generations, devoted themselves to drawing even closer to me. Until at last, Senya appeared, offering herself completely so that the path to Sonder might open for humanity's children. Elder Ingavi, in turn, took upon herself the burden of ensuring Sonder for all her kin. This is the nature of our bond. Both the Thoid and I have given much of ourselves, despite the weight of the burdens placed upon us. The Avalon you know is falling apart. Its collapse began the moment you humans set foot on this island. Your presence brought conflict, and that conflict has irreparably weakened the very foundations of this land's reality. For a short while, you delayed the inevitable. You found ways to buy yourselves more time. Even those are failing now. If you have asked the Thoid, then you have already heard the truth. I have not deceived them, nor have they deceived you. Sonder is both a place and a state of being. It is the deepest layer of my dreaming. When the Thoid sink deeply enough into my dream, and linger long enough to reach Sonder, they cross a point of no return. They remain there forever. Finally safe, cut off from a world that races toward its own demise. We swore fealty to the human king. Arthur spoke in our language, and his words were resonant, full of wisdom. He promised us an Avalon free of those who could shape reality through the weirdness, twisting it to serve their own whims. We helped him drive the Foredwellers back to Tuathan. We helped him because he showed us a vision of the world where all were equal. From the moment we bowed our heads, he ruled over us. After the terrible war, Arthur gave us an order to sleep, and so the dreaming came to be. Then let me ask you one. What brought you before the dreamer? To push forward despite hardships and burdens. I do not see the purpose in fighting for a world like the waking one. But that is your choice, human child. And I respect it. I also know you need Ingavi. You wish for her to honor the old Del Rida custom and attend the moot. The gathering, so desperately awaited by the voice of the tribes. But Ingavi's place is here, among us. And when her kin entered my chamber, the Thoid Elder's burden was lifted. She has no reason to remain in a world crumbling into ruin, all for the ambitions of one old man. Rebuilding old myths will not undo the inevitable. The past is a graveyard, Walker. If you keep chasing it, if you keep digging up what was buried long ago, you will find yourself in a grave before long.
Enough. There is no reasoning with the giant's stubborn nature. No matter what you say, she'll keep dragging you deeper into the labyrinth of her mind. That is why I ordered the giants to sleep. Their nature was unpredictable. They reveled in strange manipulations, willing to wager their own lives in primitive bets and frivolous games. And so, I speak. Whatever this one demands, grant it. That is the order of the king to whom you swore fealty.
I was wondering how long you would stay silent, letting the human whose body you stole speak for you. You have lasted surprisingly long. I suppose emptiness and oblivion have taught you some humility. Nevertheless, greetings, Arthur. I am glad I have finally dreamt of this moment. The moment I can tell you, face to face, that everything is your fault. Avalon is falling because you existed. Because you continue to exist. This is also the moment I accuse you of murdering my children. And the children of the other giants. Your human king got to know us well. When he ordered the giants to sleep, he knew that our children could not dream. Dreaming is something giants grow into with age. Having no choice but to obey, we left our children behind in the waking world. Alone, defenseless, condemned to the coldness of death. Quiestra, the child I once held in my arms, never dreamed with me. While I built layer upon layer of my dreaming, she was dying. But I had time. Enough time to dream of Sonder. A place and a state where death holds no power. There, I will dream, Quiestra. I will give shelter to the entire Thoid tribe, including Ingavi. I will not abandon any more children to the waking world.
I have made many terrible mistakes during my reign, but I always considered what was best for my people. At least, that was my intention. I wanted to make Avalon our home, free from the plague, free from forces that would seek to oppose us. I thought that my return would restore balance, that I could prevent Avalon's fall.
Your idea of what is good is twisted, human king. As for you, mortal, yes, you need the blessing of the tribes to claim the crown. Those were the terms of the sacred pact, but you will have to manage without the Thoid. They will all come with me into Sonder. I will care for them as if they were my own children. And I will save them from this world's corruption. To leave for Sonder, knowing my brothers and sisters have been freed from an order given centuries ago. Tempting. But as for your words, human child, how can I be sure you'll follow through on this decision? Yes. In the end, it is because of you that so many of the Thoid will embark on their journey to Sonder. You have sacrificed yourself for our path. So now, I sacrifice something dear to me. Though it may not be a gracious gesture, I will accept this exchange. Your word for Ingavi. Her fate is now yours. I release Ingavi from her journey to Sonder. May she carry the burden of the Thoid who remain in the waking world. But you, leave now and let us dream.
Walker in the weirdness, you return. Welcome. I don't know what to say. Has Mother sensed my doubts? My true burden? Deep down, I've always felt that Sonder was not my destiny. I envied Therov for joining One-Eye's rebellion and getting to see the world. I envied Taranis for his work with the Alchemist's Guild. Now I will have the chance to know real life. But I cannot be the elder of a tribe with no tribe. Perhaps I will join those who refused Mother's call. For the first time in my life, I feel free. I don't know how Gerfan will react to an elder without a tribe, but, well, he summoned me, so I will come. There is a reason why the Thoid made me their elder. My power, despised by the other Delrida, is truly unrivaled. And on the battlefield, a skilled Thoid is worth 10 Volker warriors steeped in Mather's fury. The Thoid. We have long been divided between those who follow Mother and those who were deaf to her call. Or at least, that's what we believed. That they were cowards, unfaithful, ungrateful wretches. But I was never convinced by those words. To me, they were simply brothers who dared to walk their own path, even at the cost of eternity. Deep down, I admired them. I am still Thoid, and I am young. When I come of age, I can bring more Thoid into this world, perhaps even with the help of those who return home one day. It's hard to say, but I don't truly care. They will either accept us, or they won't. But who knows? Perhaps, This time we will grow closer to them. I've always thought they envied our direct connection to Mother. With Mother gone, perhaps we will finally build a true rapport. I am certain they will be. They will believe what they choose to believe. It will be a new beginning. My role as elder was to guide the Thoid of old to the dreaming. But those who come after them will live in the waking world, and I will guide them too. At last, I will be allowed to grow up, and I'll admit, I cannot wait. I know I will always wonder what Sonder would have been like, and I know my heart will grieve for my kin. But something tells me this path is not closed to me forever. If there truly is a place we go after death, perhaps it is Sonder. That would also align with Runa's claim that Sonder is a trap, and that, in truth, everyone dies before entering Sonder. Maybe he was right. If so, then when I die, my soul will awaken in Sonder. I will see my tribe again. And finally, I will meet Mother. That is what I have decided to believe. See you at the moot, Walker in the Weirdness. Thank you for everything you've done for us.
And what do you think would have become of Avalon if the warlike Dalrita, already revering the giants as they are now, had the chance to worship them as living, active beings? The giants were too powerful to remain among us, especially on lands gifted to the tribes of the Dalrita. There were those among us who demanded their complete destruction. That I would not allow. It was already punishment enough that they enslaved their own children and used them as a bargaining tool. I do not blame the Theod mother for her anger. She has every right to it. At the time, I saw no other way. We had no way to control the giants, and we couldn't allow them to form an alliance with the Foredwellers. So we resorted to deception. The giants are cunning creatures. Had we not gained the upper hand, they would have turned on us at the first opportunity. I am not proud of it, but war follows its own cruel laws. It is. And you should stop asking questions when you already know the answer. That way, you won't be so easily bored.